Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So there's a lot of talk around this new team from Moonrabbit, and you know me, don't like to shun anybody. If there's a development team, I'm going to take a look into them. So apparently, according to this from Commonwealth, the Moonrabbit development team is going to tackle 0.47 for free. Yes, at no charge to the community. They're self-funding. So who are Moonrabbit and where have they come from? So from my knowledge, from my perspective, this is just Six Samurai. They've completely rebranded and they've come back as Moonrabbit, and Oneric Stake is maintaining their validators node. Just like all nodes maintains loads of different people's nodes, they're having Oneric Stake maintain theirs. And this is probably because they tombstoned their last node. As you all know, they laughed at their investors. So taking a dive off of the service, let's take a little bit more of a deeper dive, because I think this is really interesting to see that they're self-funding and they're going to be doing updates for free, which is great, right? But who's funding them? Where is their funding coming from? And realistically, how has Moonrabbit made such a jump in voting power so quickly? So some people, like the Otter side, think that we should give Moonrabbit a try. We should stop the pay and we should give it a try. Now, I personally like to do research. I like to take deep dives. I miss BitQuery so much, it's unbelievable. So what I want to do is look at how this validator got so much voting power, considering that they're just Six Samurai rebranded. Well, it turns out they're mostly, and I'm not kidding on this, the majority of their voting power has come from one person, and this is the fifth largest delegator on the LUNC chain, the fifth largest delegator. That is substantial, to say the least, that this one node is funded specifically from one person, okay? And the even scarier part is it doesn't stop here. They're also funding another node, which is Ninja node, which is really interesting to see that this one's also funded with 14 billion. It's the majority of their stake at this point. It's where they've got most of their voting power. And you're thinking to yourself, Jay, well, you know, maybe this is just a lunar classic whale, and I have to beg to differ. So I've tracked a bit of the history of what I could use in BitQuery up to the dates that are available, and it seems this person has jumped from shutdown node to shutdown node, and this could be one of many nodes. I don't have a list of all of the different things. I'm not going to go into it in this. What I'm going to do is take a look at this wallet's holdings. They've got 5 more billion LUNC on standby, okay? So they've got almost 13 billion here. They've got 14 billion here, and they've got an extra 5 billion here. That's a substantial amount of LUNC. This is a whale, you're going to say. Okay, so let's flick their wallet over to Luna. And this is what scares me the most. This is what really scares me the most. And this is why we need BitQuery back up and running, so we can actually see where the influence is coming from. And there's a takeover being planned behind the scenes. You have to be blind not to see it at this point. And it's being orchestrated by the same people. And honestly, I would be worried. I would be worried because I'm worried, right? Because if we look at their Luna holdings, this is over 1 million Luna. This is $500,000 worth of Luna. Okay, they've still got a substantial amount left investing. You can kind of see why I'm worried. Now, if you backtrack this all through BitQuery to the dates that are available to look at this wallet's previous behavior before BitQuery got suspended, it's moved from nodes like PFC. It's, I think, MC as well, which was an interesting one to see on there. But what fascinates me is that they're being outright about this. They're saying that, yes, we are funding nodes, and yes, we are going to be doing a takeover, and they're sort of pointing the finger at everybody and acting like then they're doing this off of support on the chain, but that support isn't real, okay? And it's coming from the Luna side of things. We're being influenced by Luna into what I believe is this Trojan horse that has been prepped for a long time. So when people sit there and they say to me, Jay, is LUNC influenced by Luna? And I say, yes, heavily. And there's just so many deceptive things going on at the moment. And when you follow the money for the delegations and see where these big wallets are holding up, right? it's coming down to these two. And then if you look at the votes, you go through their voting history, you start to see the similarities, and it becomes very obvious, right, that this is some sort of weird takeover to take control of a chain, centralize things under one banner, which is specifically what their white paper goes over. Now, Moonrabbit's white paper specifically, and I think Strathcole has spoken out on this in the best way possible, really narrowing it down. And it's just a very centralized takeover of the whole system where everything gets put behind a DAO, right? And honestly, for so long, I've warned against this. I have warned and warned and warned and warned. But when these people have substantial amounts of LUNC, they've got backers from Luna, it becomes very worrying and troubling that they have had to go to this extent to get to this point of where they've been rejected. And all of a sudden they've realized, right, we need the big guns. We actually need backing to fool people, to make them think like we're a good option. And honestly, if, right, this development team have had people that are part of the USTC repo, which was clearly a scam, and these people are still walking around scot-free, no one bothers them whatsoever. But it was a scam in my opinion, because nothing was provided whatsoever and we're not getting any answers. So at this point, it's a scam. There's so much weirdness going on in this chain, and the weirdness is all coming from the same group of people, right? And they tombstoned their own node. So this development team, which is behind Moonrabbit, needs an Eric stake to maintain their node. I maintain my own node from my own home. I do it all, do all of the everything. So what does that say about this development group that are going to supposedly be doing everything for free? What's happened here is they have got Luna interests and Luna influence all up in their grill, and they're clearly being paid for a hostile takeover with all of the people that have been trying to do this from the beginning. And what I'm starting to see is people like Otterside who are very confused and don't know that this is Six Samurai rebranded, and the amount of times that they've proposed and been rejected. And it really sucks that I can't get the rejected proposals up, because once again, Luna do not do what they say they're going to do for us. Instead, they act like they're going to do it. They fix it for a little bit, it comes back, and then it goes again. And I've got video evidence of me covering this being fixed after asking them to go through and fix it. So we can't go through and we can't look at these different things. Yes, on mobile I can show you, but I don't have the ability to blow my mobile up right now. With all of this being said, right, normally this would be like, and this is all a conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy. It's very obvious what's going on. The interests are clearly quite high. There's a substantial amount in the Oracle pool left. There's a substantial amount in the community pool, and there's lots of money for this chain to pay out. And if the bigger validators can control this chain as they drive it into the ground, that's what they're going to do, because none of these people have built you dynamic commission modules. None of these have built you all an auto compounding system. None of these people have been working for free. None of these people show up every day and provide you with content. Do you see where I'm coming from here about how silly it's getting with the Luna influence now? So like I said in my previous video today, this is going to be a lot easier for me to actually just go out there and just go, do you know what? This is what it is. This is how I'm seeing it. And this is my opinion on it. And that's the freedom of speech ability that we all have to go out and do that. I felt like I was restricted. I don't feel like that anymore. And I definitely want BitQuery to come back, which is really important, because we can chase all of this far, far, far deeper than just relying on previous history of what they've gone through and all of these different things. BitQuery really simplifies things. And the fact that that doesn't work for our chain goes to show just how much influence there is in our chain from a completely opposite chain to us that are literally watching us all fight amongst ourselves, allowing a hostile takeover. And it's all being done whilst people are saying, yeah, it's a really good idea, without doing any research whatsoever. So I felt like this was a good video. Hashtag bring back BitQuery. I would really love to get that system back, folks. It would really help getting back into the old days of chasing money. And a lot of people say, you know, why don't you do that anymore, Jay? And the simple fact is they cut it off at a certain point. So at a certain point it becomes ineffective anyway, and we had kind of reported on everything we could report on. The good thing is BitQuery provides historical information when you're looking at wallets like this. And like I said, this wallet's been around since the crash. This is a really serious thing when two nodes are completely built off of one delegate. Literally, if that's not cause for concern and cause to say, hey, hang on a minute here, maybe there is something funny going on, I don't know what is. Stay safe, stay humble, stay aware. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao!